Stefano, the absolute boy. Today we're having a guest podcast. Stefano's been my friend since freshman year. Yeah. I've interviewed you before for a class, as is like half of USC. And I don't know, I just want to talk to you today because you have some really cool insights on entrepreneurship, mindset. If you don't know Stefano, he is the co-ambassador of Duffel at USC, which is a really cool deal where Duffel is an innovative company that is a delivery service for college students. You can explain it better than I can if you want to talk about it. But dude, you're more than Duffel though, and I would love to hear more about like your mindset, like your perspective in general in life, like your worldview related to it. And so you grew up in Chile. Right.
Yeah.
And was your family like unique anyway? Were they entrepreneurial driven, or were they just pretty standard?
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny. It's pretty standard. My dad's a gynecologist.
Okay.
He takes babies.
Nice.
Yeah. My mom, she worked like in the retail space like a few years ago, like when she was young, and then she married my dad. But nothing like extremely special. Like nothing
in
complicated.
terms of like entrepreneurship.
In terms of entrepreneurship, like some like family ties like from the past, maybe like my grandpa or something, but like nothing like from like DNA, you know.
When you were in high school at all, or like even middle school, did you like have any kind of, I don't know, like aha moment with entrepreneurship and starting your own business?
Yeah, the thing is, from like very, very young age, I was like I was selling candies in the beach when I was like 5. Like there's pictures of me like working behind the kiosk in the beach and like selling candy, selling snacks, and like always like trying to sell things and trying to make money. At first it was like money, and then as I grew up, I like kind of like middle school, high school, I was like I know what I want to do. Like I want to like just like make money, make businesses, you know, like do all this stuff.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
No, like how old? Like in that
how old
moment?
I was?
Yeah.
Well, when I was selling candies, I was like probably like 4 or 5. I have like some pictures of that.
Okay.
And then it just became always like a thing of like during the summer, like make money and like, you know, just like kind of like use my time efficiently.
Were you like employed with someone, or were you just like working on it?
Like
really?
Independent, just my siblings, like selling shit in the beach.
Dude, that is so unique. Yeah. Cause dude, my mom was like, you need to go be a lifeguard when I was like 14. And I was like, okay, I'll be a lifeguard. I was never like, I'm going to make my own job or make my own like way of income when I was that age.
No, dude, I was just like trying to just like, use my time, like making money and stuff like that. But then it became more of like, as I went through like middle school and high school and I was like just growing up and like, you know, learning more things, I really kind of like discovered this thing was like, it sounds kind of like cringy, but it's like kind of like actually like creating value for the community. And that's when I started getting involved in like so many things, and it like became sort of like the money was not even like a thing. It was like more of like a genuine thing of like creating impact.
What was something in high school you felt that you were really impacting?
Yeah. Well, I was, so in high school, I'm going to go back to like my story. As an international student, like I'm in international school. In Chile, it's probably like the only international school. It's probably one of the like really good schools. So I was like very lucky to be able to like attend the school. But basically all the students there are from different backgrounds, different perspectives. So I always grew up like learning from different people, different languages, and interacting with all these people. But when you get to freshman year, that's when I had like a breaking point. Because most of the people in Chile just like stay, and they stay there and they live in Chile. And if you want to like leave and you want to go study abroad, you kind of have like to take a leap, and you have to do a lot of things to get there. And my brother and my sister were 2 years older than me. They were already like in that process. So I got it from them sort of like, okay, like I want to do what they're doing. And I started preparing to sort of like come out here. And like I knew some things like you need like to study for the SAT and you need these things. So I started like using all my time to do these things. I first started getting involved my freshman year in a club that was called like in Spanish, it was Comida Solidaria. It's like solidarity food. And just like a normal club, I would go every like one time a month. We would like go to a very like poor like neighborhood in Chile, to a street, and like feed all the homeless. And just like talking with the homeless, of course, is like what is really like impacted me.
Yeah.
But I started doing that, and then I just started getting like leadership roles in that, and like eventually became the president. And not only with that, like I was also involved like in the student council, like NHS. Like, I was just involved in everything. Like one of the things that I think marked really a difference was like on a normal day in the week, when I would have loved playing soccer with my friends, I was like selling tacos, like trying to make money for the homeless, or like, you know what I mean? Like,
your priorities are different.
Like, yeah, like it was like that was a switch that really like helped me like, get to the next level.
Was there anyone from a young age that you looked up to that would inspire you, or like a role model in high school that like kind of crafted this mindset for you at all?
Yeah, I mean, first my siblings, 100%. Like my brothers were grinding all the time. They're not like into business, but like it's more about like a mindset thing.
A work ethic, right?
Like my dad too, like, you know, like
sure.
He wakes up every single day 6 a.m. comes back at 10 p.m.
Yeah,
like he's
wild.
a grinder, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, every single day. So like of course I admire that. Same with my mom. Like they all have like a good work ethic and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so like I kind of got that from them. But yeah, there's also like
shout out to them.
Shout out. There's also like one of my friends. His name is Ian Lee. He's like doing great things right now.
Yeah.
Like I would see him like walk. One hand is computer, like learning how to code. And on the other hand, like a bunch of like books about like Python. Like I looked at it and I was like, this guy's unreal.
In high school.
You know what I mean? In high school, like middle school, like, like you know what I mean? Like
completely
crazy. Like
dude, when you see people like that are such a young age, like they're, I don't know, it's so easy to go out with your friends, play video games 24/7. When you see someone that's like so focused on like coding or whatever it is that they're doing at that young age, like it just, I don't know, they're wired a little differently, I feel like. So that's cool. You've been inspired by that.
Yeah, they had their priorities. You know what I mean?
Completely.
They knew what to. Yeah,
completely. That kind of leads us to something I want to talk about. Just from like knowing you and hearing your story, you've really inspired me to like take the road less traveled, and I think that's something you've really emulated throughout your entire life and in college. It's so easy for kids just to look at a map and just follow the route that they're supposed to go. But in today's society with like the internet and everything, like all your resources, there's no like clear defined road you should take. And I think that you are pretty accustomed to taking the one that's less traveled for sure.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I feel that too. And I think this is a good entry story into like the duffel story.
Yeah, absolutely. Speak on it.
So yeah, no, I mean, I came here in college freshman year, like I knew what I wanted to do, you know, like I came here, I want to study business. Like I want to start my own business. That's what I wanted to do. And my freshman roommate, Marcos from Argentina, we were both like in New North, like basically like, of course, everyone speaks different languages, trying to meet people, like whatever. And we're like,
that was so fun.
Yeah, dude, so fun.
So much fun.
So many memories. But we're like, yeah, we got to do something, right? So we start like planning and like thinking of ideas and like at night, like just like thinking. And then my brother went to UCLA and he was friends with this kid called David. And he's like, dude, David is doing this like great thing, like delivering like Tide Pods and flowers on like a boosted board around UCLA with like 5 kids, and like it's sick. And I looked at that and I was like, this is like perfect. Like this is so like niche and like new and like something that I'm like passionate for, like from the first instant. And I remember I was going to UCLA like super often and helping them out. Just like literally going to Walmart, like buying things, like restocking, like just like learning like what they were doing and like the operation they had out of like a little apartment. And I was like, okay, like I can't keep coming to UCLA. Like I can't afford the Ubers.
Right.
Can I bring this to my room? And that's when I turned my room with my roommate into like a grocery store.
A mini grocery store.
And the things we did to like promote it were just like, we like literally went to class, opened the store, we were in our room, and we were like, all right, like let's talk. We kind of like got all the kids in the first floor like on board with it, and they were helping us make like videos. And as it started growing and people started talking about it and like all these things were going on, like,
did you have like money to start, or what was your process with?
No, in the beginning it was like they gave me a few scooters and they would give me some inventory.
Yeah.
And then
your brother helped with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was super like it's a startup, you know, it pivots, like transitions, like that's how it's been always, like even until today. But it was a good experience just like running it with my roommate and like learning. Like the most valuable thing from all these was just like being in my room working like from 6 to 1 a.m. or whatever. Yeah. Like restocking, like learning how to use a website, like all these things. Cool. Meeting people. Like people would order, go up the stairs, knock on the door. Hey, here's your order. Holy shit, that was fast.
Do you want to explain what Duffel like is?
Yeah, of course. Duffel is a convenience store with delivery like in under 10 minutes. So we deliver snacks, drinks, like all this stuff in like under 10 minutes with electric scooters around campus. Yeah. Right now, today, it's like, it's pretty big around like UCLA, UCSB, Berkeley, USC. Texas. Yeah, USC it's been expanding for sure.
Because of sick culture. Like it's very like fun. I would say like people really the Instagram. We were just talking about the Instagram. Like people, if you get like a duffel comment under your Instagram post, like you've made it. I feel like people just think you're sick.
And that's like one of my favorite things. It's like there is this like value that we have. It's called right on the bag. Right?
Yeah.
And that's like it literally resembles like creating a special connection with the customer.
Yeah.
It's like when you write on the bag and you get something and you're like, holy shit, like, how do you know that? Or like,
right.
That's so cool. Like, it just makes you like intrigued and like into it.
It's cool when your friends are dropping stuff off to you.
Yeah.
Like,
That's also cool.
I'll look at my phone and I'll say, oh, like one of my homies is like dropping off my Gatorade in class, which is cool.
It's cool. But the fact that like I had to go up and like get out of my comfort zone and like meet people like through like delivering things was like, I just literally met everyone. And like,
absolutely.
Even like people who I just like knocked on their doors that I know now, like have become like one of my best friends.
Dude, you're probably one of the most well-connected people at USC. Sincerely, like you actually probably are. Just because everyone knows Duffel and everyone, in turn, everyone knows you. Yeah. So when you were first starting, I'm curious because no startup just is like running off the ground. You're obviously gonna have like a ton of obstacles and setbacks. What were some obstacles you had to overcome freshman year?
Yeah.
And what was your mindset, more importantly, like regarding that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in my DNA and like throughout high school and throughout all my life, I've like one of the most important things for me has always been like, of course, like be persevering, like never give up, like you know, like kind of like that mindset, like if we fail, like stand up, like go again. Just like you guys were telling me with like this setup, like you guys done it 100 times.
Yeah,
I would do 1,000 times more, but it gets better every single time.
Yeah.
So like it's sort of like the same thing. Like, yeah, I just try to do like everything I can. I always give my best. Like no mediocre shit. Like
so, what setbacks did you have to overcome?
Yeah,
freshman year.
I mean, it was everything was a setback. You know what I mean? Like
sure,
because it was like we were out of our room and we didn't know anyone. Like
right,
like just like having to break that like bubble was like one thing. Another thing was we're not allowed to sell things out of New North. Like it was not. I mean, like, yeah, you can't have a business out of your dorm. That's like
I didn't know that.
Policy. I'm an international student. Like I was taking risks. You know,
seems like a shitty policy.
Yeah, no. I mean, COVID kind of like gave us a break, but
right.
Yeah, no. You couldn't sell anything, so we were doing it illegally, basically. Yeah. I hope my RA doesn't listen to this.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
what are you gonna do? Like shut you down?
Yeah, I don't know. Like probably like kick me out of the country.
Yeah, send you back.
Yeah,
home.
shut me down, send me back home. I don't know, but COVID came the day that the RA sent me an email like we gotta talk. COVID.
Wow.
Went back home. Saved my ass.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Wow. Imagine they try to shut you down right there. Do you think we'd have Duffel right now, like at USC?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Okay, we'd still have it.
When I went back home, I was like, I kind of like took a break because I couldn't really work from here.
Right.
So, and David and all the team like kept on working.
So you expanded. You bought a property.
Yeah. So
next to the row.
They went through Y Combinator during COVID, which is like one of the most well-known like entrepreneurial schools.
Yeah.
Raised some funding.
I didn't know that.
And from there, with that money.
This was your brother that like did the whole pit? There was someone else?
No. My brother was just friends with David.
Oh, got it. Okay,
yeah,
so
that's it.
The main guy, David, was the guy who did the Y Combinator stuff, did the pitch
David,
deck,
Brian,
and
it was a
retain
group of
funding.
5. Yeah.
And so they gave you some capital to like invest in having a property.
Yeah, I mean, the duffel model, as I told you, like keeps on changing. Like,
yeah.
It's never been like I own it. It's never been like a franchise, but it could turn into that. You know.
Sure.
I was just working and getting paid like. Salary. Okay. I take a CPT, like a course, so that I can get paid and I can work like legally in the US. So that's how I do it.
Yeah.
But they basically got a property and it's a convenience store. It's right next to West. You guys have seen it.
Yeah.
And we deliver out of there. It's like a warehouse.
Dude, you've had some pretty unique ways of getting money. I talked to Daniel about it, and he told me like one time like he pulled out a loan, and to pay off the loan, you did like a sick party. Or something.
Oh, yeah.
Was that? Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember going to that party, and it was actually probably the craziest one our sophomore year.
Yeah.
I legitimately think so. It was like a duffel party, and it was like all these fraternities in this like studio we always went to.
Oh, Click Studios.
Yeah.
No, yeah. That
place sucks.
That one was a different party. That was
so you've done multiple.
No, I've done multiple parties.
The party guy.
Yeah. No, I've done
duffel and party.
Duffel and parties.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did that Click Studio party was crazy. Like
that was ridiculous.
Like everyone and their mom was there. Like
dude, yeah, I don't know like what like it was just like so hyped. It's so hyped. Like how did you generate that?
Okay, first it was
curious.
COVID,
yeah.
So it was like people were like looking for something to do.
Like anything to do.
It was like the second semester back, so it was like all right, like now we can go out and like start partying. Like we're all in college. Like if we get COVID, we get COVID. You know?
Right.
Sort of thing.
And we definitely got COVID.
We all got COVID after that, 100%. I broke my finger in that party.
Oh my god.
Like trying to break out a fight.
That's a funny story.
I feel like
don't explain that.
Again, this is like it was just like breaking up a fight at the end. Like
yeah.
the streets were overflowing. There was more people outside than inside.
Dude, I remember that.
Everyone was there.
That was like a sketchy area.
Oh yeah, someone died. Like a homeless died.
Oh my god.
Probably
dude,
20 meters from the party.
I remember
all the focus.
We had like a mixer there one time, and a person got like a gun pulled on them around the corner. Yeah. Like it was ridiculous.
That area is just not it. But back to your question of like how we got to that point of bringing everyone in and like creating that hype.
Yeah.
I think it's like, it's the people. Like we got like Philip involved, like Carlos involved, like just like people that like know so much people and like they're loved and like, you know, and like they just helped us promote it, and like it was like naturally like I think where everyone came, and it was so fun.
That's something you do really well, I think, is like connecting with people and bringing on genuine people to help your team.
Yeah,
it's creating friendships, dude. That's like a skill that is not valued as much as it should be, I think.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I feel like every single person who has worked in duffel has like impacted me in a like different way, like positive way. Not only duffel, but just like in my life, it's like everyone that I've interacted with and like done something like aside from just like the initial like talk, like they've like teached me something, you know.
Completely.
It's like it just makes me into who I am.
I just wrote this essay for our class on a personal philosophy. My big statement right now is you can get a passport stamp by just walking across the street.
Whoa.
I think it's sick. Like you can learn something from anyone. Like you can obtain value from any conversation if you just give a little effort and have a little respect.
100%.
So if like you don't have to fly to Chile to go meet someone cool from Chile. I can just like reach out to you and have a cool conversation with you and learn from like your authenticity, you know?
Yeah. 100%.
So that's something I like really relate to. I feel like you do as well.
Yeah. 100%. And then like just like having these people that you've like known from the start and then like sort of like creating impact with them, it's like just like the best feeling ever. And I'm gonna give you an example. Like there's this kid called Akash. He's like one of my friends. Like when I was a freshman, the first thing I did when I was like on this like entrepreneurial like I want to do this, I was applying to like all the clubs, and like I was part of like SCP and Spark. Now I'm more inactive because like I duffel like takes all my time, but like I've met so many like talented people. Like actually, like I've never seen something like that. Like the most talented, like driven people like, I've ever like insane. And
in what club?
It's Spark. It's called Spark.
Okay.
Like insane. Like I was like literally like inspired like by all these people. It was like actually like ridiculous.
Have you taken like all these entrepreneurship classes?
Yeah.
Like you've done taking the lead.
My freshman year, I'm international. Could register like very late. I come here, the girl's like, so Japanese writing, Japanese drawing, these are gonna be your classes. I'm like, dude, I'm paying just like all of us like $80,000 fucking dollars. Yeah. I'm here to study business, not fucking Japanese drawing.
Like,
and like
Eastern culture
and like sure, but like it's not what I'm here for, you know? And like I got mad at her and like sort of like told her that, and she's like, okay, like I'm just gonna give you an and I actually took upper division entrepreneurial classes in my freshman year.
Wow.
Which was like weird, but also like cool because I met seniors, which eventually like helped me get into like other communities and like expand my atomic network.
Dude,
and, like,
that's what it's about. Like you come to USC not because it's like the courses are crazy. Like it's the same shit all around the country, but it's like the people and environment you're in, meeting people like you who are doing things that are abnormal, out of the ordinary, and just being involved in that environment and like making these connections changes you more than any textbook does.
100%. No, the things that I've learned from just like interacting with people are definitely more than what I've learned from class.
Completely.
100%.
Being in that senior environment as a freshman, dude, you're probably like all these seniors. They might have had their own startups. They might have been working at some crazy firm doing something, and like just seeing that like that. I wish I could have done that. I was taking like GEs and
dude. I don't know how it ended up happening, but it happened, right? And it was great. The teacher was great. I learned a lot of things. Back to Akash.
Yeah, sorry.
So we were both in Spark. Super cool kid. When I went home, I couldn't work on duffel, right? So I was like, what am I gonna do? Like I'm taking I took a gap semester. Decided to take a gap semester. I was back home, and I was just thinking like, what can I do? And I was seeing, it was the moment when TikTok was exploding, like
during COVID
exploding. Omegle was exploding, like, and I just thought, Omegle is like, you go in there and like you're probably gonna find like some inappropriate shit, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, TikTok is blowing up, like content creation is blowing up. Like if I have like someone that I like aspire to be, or like someone that inspires me, or like celebrity or whatever, like how can I like interact with them, right?
Yeah.
And like I started just thinking and like planning, and I called Akash and we're like just talking about it. We came up with this like concept of like Omegle for celebrities, so like to interact with their fans. And at that time, there was nothing like it. Today, there is something like it.
Really?
That's why we stopped working on it.
That's a cool idea. I didn't know you were doing
Yeah,
this.
it was like so whatever. We started like using our time and money and whatever, and like built an app, which was like really cool experience like throughout that summer.
That's fire, dude.
And
I didn't know you did that.
Literally started meeting like this like influencers who had like micro influencers who now have like 6 million followers, and it's like insane.
Yeah.
And they helped us out. Her name was Mac and Mattia, and they helped us out like throw the first like event on our app. So we advertised it as it was like an MVP.
This was all in LA.
Yeah, all in LA. I mean, we built it back home when I came back. Month in, we threw the first event.
This is a great
We just
idea.
wanted to see like like traction, like test it out, and there was people overnight like collecting coins for a chance to speak to these people, and that's when I was like holy shit, like it's working. Like the app was crashing, like people. So how it worked, it was people go into this app. And there's like a celebrity room, right? The celebrity's not there. You're in the celebrity room and you can talk with other people. So it's like interests, like Omegle interests, like when you search like soccer and there's like other people who are interested in soccer and you can talk with them.
Yeah.
So it was people just FaceTiming other people from random places and you could like click, switch, next person.
And it's celebrities.
And it was a celebrity focused room. So it was like Justin Bieber say, okay, so like everyone who like fucks with Justin Bieber is in the room.
Oh, okay.
And they're just talking with each other.
Okay.
And then Justin Bieber would, this is the idea, the whole idea. Justin Bieber would be like, all right, I'm going to go on the app. It was called Redlino. We're going to go on the app right now. It was like a virtual red carpet, like, kind of like experience, right? So Justin Bieber goes live and everyone is there. And when he goes live, there's a virtual like roulette thing with all the people there, and whoever wins gets a one-on-one call in the moment with Justin Bieber.
Dude, wow. It kind of sounds like Instagram Live a little bit, but more organized.
Yeah, it was like that, but like more like just celebrity focused and whatever.
Yeah.
And
people
also
paying to get on the app?
Huh?
Or people like paying to get on the app? Or
They could buy the coins. No, it was all free. Okay. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It was like bridging the gap and letting people who do not have money just like use their time to try to talk to someone famous.
Yeah.
Because like if you have money, you can buy all the coins in the world and like you're gonna win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was kind of like doing that. And here's the thing: the first event went through, like it was great, and we stopped working on it months later because it was just too hard. We didn't have money. We couldn't find influencers. It was very hard.
Yeah.
So we stopped, right? And the day of that event, there was a group chat created between all the girls and people that were there. And 5 months in, 4 months in, I get a message from one of the ladies says, hey, like it's a selfie with one of the people she met on the app.
Really?
And she's like, Katrina just got my bags in Oslo. Like they were taken away. I just came to visit her. And I was like, holy shit. Like,
yeah, it's working.
Like, okay. No, like it was shut down, right? Like,
yeah.
Right. Like I was like super beaten up like about it not working, but the fact that two people that met on an app that we made, like went to like, they knew each other. They kept on like, they formed a relationship.
Yeah.
They like helped each other and now they're together and it's like, holy shit, like I did something, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's impact, you know what I mean? And that's like what I'm like,
I think that's like what makes you a true entrepreneur is that you aren't like stuck to one industry or category. Like you're doing like consumer goods with duffel and selling and like delivering, and then you have like this app that's a platform, and you're really just like identifying a need, and you're passionate about helping people. Like you aren't just passionate about like fitness or like I don't know, like coding. It's you're passionate about giving people something they need and like helping, and so like getting involved in different ways like that is what makes you special.
Yeah, and it also has like back to the people, like it's helped me like meet so much people.
Yeah.
And it's like it's crazy like how much people I've met. And
Absolutely.
It's like, so like,
if you had like a personal philosophy you could think of right now, do you like have an idea? Obviously, a couple of your core values would be relationships and valuing that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably say like so. Yeah, I mean, when you meet someone and like you interact with them, like you never know where that's gonna go, right? Like you can learn anything from them. So like, I would totally like, like when you go to college, like classes are like not really the important thing. It's like really the people who you meet,
connecting to professors.
At the end of the day, like if you know someone in the bank, like you're probably gonna like get a chance at an interview. You know what I mean?
Right, or referral, or at least, or something.
So like everything is about the connections. Everything about the people that you meet.
Fully.
And like that's what forms you, right? But I'd probably say it's probably not related to this. I'd probably say like one of the things that, and I honestly learned this from David, and it's like very niche, honestly. It's and it's also one of the values of duffel, which is keep it simple. And it's like before I realized I was working on too many things. I was doing too many things.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it was just like keeping it simple. It was just like focusing on one thing at a time. And like that's what I've been doing now. It's like
I like that.
I was doing parties, I was doing this, I was doing that, but like, and it was good, and I was meeting people, but it was not the most like effective use of my time.
Right.
And what I've started to do now is I've done all these things, but within duffel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Kind of like, and
keeping it simple.
Yeah.
I think that's something I struggle with is I spread myself thin pretty often. I want to get involved in everything, and I feel like I'm not doing enough. And I track my productivity like really like rigorously. Like everything I do, I write down in my day. I have this like Notion app where like I'm tracking my habits, my goals, like all these. Anything that you can track, I'm tracking it. And so when I put my head down at night, I'm like, I don't feel like I did enough ever. You probably, I don't know if you feel like that, but I measure my days of productivity way too much, which is I think is unhealthy personally.
Yeah.
But some of the most successful people do that. Do you have any like?
Dude, I am not the most like productive person in the world, or also like I don't have very like ethic of like working in like wake up like 4 a.m. like meditate for an hour, but like
I'm like that, dude.
Like I think that's unhealthy. Like I do
too.
Like I don't do it. I wake up, like I work out, like I do all these things, and I try to like stay healthy, and like that's awesome. But like here, David. So for duffel, I had to do a boot camp. So I would go and like I would learn from him. He's a superhuman. Like it's actually like insane. Probably the smartest person I've ever met. Insane. So he takes me there, and I have to like shadow him for the week. Wake up, 5 a.m. Meditate, an hour sitting down and workout.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so hungry. Nope, you can't eat.
Really? You
fast yourself.
Okay.
You fast yourself because after you work, you can eat.
Is this this is part of the boot camp? Wow. So it's not just like duffel, it's like a life boot camp.
No, that's why like I've learned like
there's like cold showers.
Yeah, no, I've learned so much about
shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, I mean I'm the same way though. Like you can see like my goal wall.
Yeah.
I wake up and that's what I do. But I'm like super into like morning routines. Like I wake up for RTC in the morning and I'll come back, cold shower, reading outside like every single morning I try. But I think it's good. It's obviously good for you. But if you I don't know, it gets overwhelming. I think if you're just like hyper focused on all the product, like how productive you are in a day, you're missing out like the value of just being present.
Yeah, no, I totally get that, 100%. And there's a book that also was referred to me. It's called The Power of Now.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys have read it, but have you read it, dude? It's like, and I was thinking like, dude, I'm like worrying about things in the future, and I'm like worrying about things in the past, but like the moment right now, like this is what we're living, like we're not gonna live it again, like and that comes back to like. Even when I'm deciding, like, should I go out or should I not go out? Like, am I going to be here again? Am I going to be a senior in college again? No.
That's something Steve and I talk about a lot, is, like, just balance with working as hard as you can, but also enjoying, like, we have 6 weeks left for college. We have a pact as roommates. We're going out every single Wednesday at the 9-0, no matter what.
Yeah.
And if someone has something important going on, and, like, let's say, like, our friend Omegle, he got commissioned in the Navy. He's going to be, like, a aviator pilot. He has this big ceremony on Wednesday, mandatory event for the house. Like we all have to be there. It's not even negotiable. It's if you have a midterm, okay, study for it, but like you're coming out still.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's like the beautiful thing about like just like college, you know? Like,
yeah, completely.
It's like enjoying the
6 weeks to like just have this crazy lifestyle of like being in this environment. I'll never live with 13 guys again.
Never.
Hopefully not. You know what I mean? But like it's beautiful and crazy, and you just gotta embrace it and be present.
Yeah, dude, people ask me like, how do you like manage your classes and like
duffel
and like
you probably have like three other things you're thinking
three other
of.
shit. Yeah, and it's like I don't. I'm just like like living the moment, and like my mom's not gonna like this when she hears this, but like there is some times where I've like prioritize like duffel over like school, and like you know what I mean, and like
that's funny you said that.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I think it's like it's been good because
that's your business. Like I feel like school is like what builds duffel for you, like the mindset that you're supposed to create. Like you go to school so you can work at duffel. That's kind of I think
literally
like you went to school so you could start a business, and you started a business. So invest your time and energy into the thing you should be.
Yeah. It just gives me more back. You know what I mean? Like the college is just a degree. Like I'm gonna have the name. Like I work. Right. I was a business student. Like But like the things that I've learned from duffel are more than what I've learned in any single class.
Completely.
And it's like, dude, like why am I spending my time on that?
That's funny you said that. I went to boot camp this summer for the Army, and I learned more in 35 days at boot camp than I did in 4 years of college or 12 years of my education. And it's just from the people, because like I went to. There's like 3,000 cadets from all across the country, all different worldviews, backgrounds, perspectives, and just like being sleep deprived, hungry, like under extreme duress, constantly evaluated with these kind of people and just learning, that I learned that was more valuable than college.
So yeah, dude. It's like, dude, we have G's, mandatory G's. Like,
yeah.
Dude, I have to take a class about like
oceanography.
Cool, like oceanography.
I
like,
did
cool,
oceanography.
like sick, but like,
or like
am I gonna
human
have to,
animal.
like,
I learned about like bones.
and like memorize all this shit and like
like dates of like dumb shit.
Dates of like the whole like Jewish history. Like
bro,
like okay, like that's cool. Like I like I want to understand like culture and like
1737.
Dude, how is this helping me?
Right.
How is this helping me in my life? Like it's not.
Go learn some skills. Go learn like develop relationships.
Yeah, that's why like I encourage everyone to like, just like go out there and like really like
go fail.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask you like about your failures. I feel like everyone sees you and you're ultra successful and like you're ahead of the game, but obviously behind every success story there's setbacks.
I failed 1,000 times,
and it doesn't have to just be business too. Like have you ever experienced failure in relationships?
100%. No, in every way. I mean, I've had every type of failure probably. I mean, business failures. One of the things, my freshman year, the first thing I did was I started working on a bong company. It was like a smoking thing, and I was like, dude, I'm like stuck working on this thing, and like I'm not passionate for it.
You're in a bong company?
We made this like bamboo bongs. It was like eco-friendly smoking company.
Dude, what
I built up the e-commerce site, like whatever.
This is freshman year?
Freshman year. E-commerce site, selling bongs, engraving them. Super cool. I don't smoke. Like I'm not interested in the weed industry.
So funny.
Like it's not like I'm not passionate for it, and I'm like, and I was a freshman, so I was like, I'm just working on this, like I'm making it happen, and like I'm growing it, and like it's a cool experience, but I don't like it, and my biggest regret was sticking onto it, and I sticked onto it for like 3 more months, and I lost those 3 months. Like I just stayed there, and I kept on working, and I was like so not passionate about it, and I was like trying to tell the other co-founder,
stubbornly holding on.
I don't want to do this again, and I just like went with it.
You just didn't want to like admit defeat.
Yeah.
So you just kept sticking with it. That's funny. We talk about this a lot in our podcast, and if you aren't passionate about what you're doing, you will never succeed in it fully.
Yeah.
And my friend Dalen, like he has out the back, and he's like he's on the phone with the Van CEO, and the Van CEO is like, "Can you see yourself selling T-shirts the rest of your life?" And Dalen's like, "I don't know if I can," but he's like thinking about like, do I truly love this? Am I gonna stick with this for however long it takes?
That's I actually went for drinks with him 2 days ago.
Shout out Dalen.
Shout out Dalen, best kid ever. We were talking. He's like, dude, I'm conflicted because my intention with Out the Bag is like creating value.
Yeah.
And like I don't know if I'm creating value, and I'm like,
I think
he's like I don't know what to do, and I'm like, fine, like figure it out. You know what I mean? Like find a way to create value through it. Like this is what you love. Like this is like when I think of Out of the Bag, I think of Dalen. You know what I mean? When people think of Duffel, they think of me. Like, it's like the same thing. Like you know what I mean? Like, and it's like you've been grinding for fucking years, like on this shit, and like and it's amazing. Like every time I see it, I'm like, dude, like these posts are like good quality.
It's getting
like,
good, dude.
It's good.
It's getting good.
The clothes is good.
He's getting some influencer outreach,
sick,
and
it's sick. And like he spends all his time, and like, and I know he loves it. I know he likes it, but it's like that part of like creating value and like impact for people through whatever you're making is definitely the most important thing.
Completely. And yeah, that's part of being young is like we're in our early 20s to discover like what we are passionate about, what we love to do. You know what I mean? And that comes from just putting your hand in multiple industries and putting your hand in multiple passions, hobbies to figure stuff out. And I'm still finding that. You know what I mean? I think I found it. You know, I love fitness. I love working out. I could work out for the rest of my life, and if I got paid to do it, I would do it right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got to find a way to get paid for it. But also like create value. I love seeing other people grow. You know what I mean? In health and like mindfulness, and I don't know, like getting involved in that in some capacity would be awesome.
100%. That's so like we're so fortunate to like know like what we like.
Completely, dude.
There's some people that are like lost, like they don't know what they want to do. So like again, another thing is like just like go out there and like try everything out. You know, like don't stay like in your limits and like in your circle. Just like go out. You know,
we're in just a weird place. I'm applying for all these jobs right now because I'm trying to pay for rent next year and eat, and I'm struggling between should I just fully commit to what I'm passionate about and just like full send like working out and starting a brand, or should I like go do the safe route and go do like investment banking or finance or something like that and like slave away for a couple of years and just make bread and like chill out. Yeah. But it's like a weird balance because I wanna do what I'm passionate about, but I also want to it's scary to take the leap. So I mean, ideally, like I want to learn some skills first. Like I've never like started my own business personally, and I think the best way to start is to do it. I think you would.
It loops back. I mean, you got to take the road less traveled, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. The theme. Take the road less traveled. But I don't see, like, time is worth more than money. And people are spending so many years, like, slaving away in these jobs that they fucking hate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, talk to anyone on Wall Street. Like, they're not happy. Like, yeah, you make like $1 million a year as a partner or whatever, but like, do you actually enjoy your life? Are you creating value for others? Are you doing what you're passionate about? Do you even know you're passionate about? You know what I mean? Like
100%.
That's what I really connect with, like, the whole entrepreneur mindset is you're just fully investing in your passion, and like you're helping others, and that's the most they're interlinked most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I've had people come to me and they're like, dude, I really needed like toilet paper. Like, I was taking a shit, like I didn't, like even like that like stupid anecdote. It's like,
yeah,
dude, like,
you're helping guys.
Value,
like,
you know
thanks,
what I mean?
dude.
Like, that's convenience. That's value. Like, you're creating value. Like, I'm helping you out. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why like it drives me so much. Like every day, like I go in there and like I work and like I try to make this thing grow, and like I know that I'm helping people. Yeah. So like that's what like keeps me going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the same thing with this podcast. Is like Steven and I talk about we want to add value to people, and sometimes it's difficult because we're so young and we don't have that much experience. And you know, there's people that are 40 doing podcasting that have way more value to add than we do. But having people like on like you, like young college kids that can explain their crazy journey and just like all their lessons with entrepreneurship and mindset in general, like that's value. You're getting value right now.
Yeah, no, I think I mean, anyone who listens to this like will get like the most important things we talked about. Like it's just like, dude, it's like no, like everything that we've talked about, literally, like you can apply to your life, and like
I think so.
Just like get a
I think so. And I think dude, I don't know, some main themes I feel like is just taking the road less traveled for sure. Learning from your failures is the big one. I keep hearing you repeat.
Yeah.
I think you have a really unique mindset. Whenever I talk to someone that's extremely successful, they're kind of like type A, super rigid, like every single little detail in their life is planned out. But you seem like you're pretty just like, I'm here. This is what I'm doing. I'm present. Like,
that's what I think I got from like The Power of Now, and I read it very recently.
What other books have you read?
I read Atomic Habits.
Yeah, we're reading that.
Atomic Habits. 0 to 1.
I haven't read that.
It's Peter Thiel. It's just like more startup related.
Okay.
But that's also like, it also relates to me because it's like from my room to a store, you know what I mean? Like from this to that, and like it's like, you know, it's like that whole
tangible
process
steps
of
growing.
It's also about like the lean startup, like typical startup book. Like you think about it and it's like all these things, but like the real thing is like don't make assumptions. Like go out there and test things. Like go out there, like try things. Like fail.
You really put yourself out there.
You know?
You really do. Yeah. You're going to New North today to pass out flyers.
Yeah,
like you're just.
I know. You're going back to my freshman year.
Yeah, you're going to talk to some freshmen to go push the brand. Like that's gritty. That's what it's about. I was talking with the CEO of Sprinkles the other day. You know Sprinkles cupcake. Yeah. She spoke to our class, and she's like, she was doing investment banking for a couple of years, hated it. Has a passion for baking. Has a passion for like giving people a taste of like childhood. That's what she quotes. Yeah, so she went to Manhattan Beach and was like selling cupcakes out of her small apartment and was just hustling, going to like fire stations and like police stations and passing cupcakes out and going to her friends and like popping out to parties, whatever she could just to get the brand out there a little bit. And slowly but surely she was building it. Yeah. It's a grueling process, but she was just building this thing every day by day, brick by brick. And that's something like that's what it is. Yeah. And people are scared to do that.
Yeah, it's literally about like taking that step and doing that. Like I remember, this is a crazy story. One of the girls in my freshman class for entrepreneurship was a senior. I don't know her. I don't know who she was, but we had to do customer interviews to like test our idea. So like customer discovery interviews, we have a list of questions that we have to ask. You always do it to like validate your idea and like kind of like pivot. She went to the metro and she talked to, she was there the whole day for 2 days straight, talked to as many people as she could. Like
yeah, that's ridiculous.
Thought about that? Like
that's ridiculous.
Like, who does, like, you know what I mean? Like
when you can't see that remind, like when stuff like that is an example of the future so foreign, like you don't know if if you're going to succeed or not, but you still push no matter what. Like you're going to sprint even when the destination is unknown. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Yeah, really, and it just comes down to loving what you're doing. She really believed in herself. And it's funny, like, we were thinking of traits of an entrepreneur. Like, what does every entrepreneur have? What mindset skill do they have? And the one thing that we pinpointed was optimism. it's always like this is gonna
Yeah.
work because it has to work and it's gonna happen. Like
I mean, if
there's
you don't believe in it from the start, then
yeah,
what's
the glass is half full always. And if you, because once you fail, if like you just when the doubt creeps in, when the doubt is there, that's when you start to crumble.
Yeah.
So how do you fight doubt? Have you ever like experienced that?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, obviously everyone experiences doubt, but like how?
Yeah.
What are your tools?
I would say just like the opposite, by like going out there and like proving myself wrong. You know what I mean? Like whatever I thought, just like, because usually those like doubts come from assumptions, right?
Sure.
Like we just like think something, but sometimes it's like not true. I can
Absolutely.
say that
Most of the time it's not true.
I can say that the freshmen that I'm gonna go give flyers to are like not gonna order and like they're not gonna be open to like this idea.
Right.
But I don't know, and I'm just like thinking it, right? So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna figure it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's when I will
Proving
see.
yourself.
You know, and like I'll prove myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a good insight because so many people are struggling with doubts, especially when you first get started, and like there doesn't seem like there's a lot of room to grow.
Even something like I don't know what to do in my life. I don't know what to work on. I don't know what to do. You know, I don't know what I like.
Right.
Go out there, try everything out.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. How long was that? What are we doing? 41 minutes? Okay. I think we're wrapped up. Dude, that was awesome. Sincerely. I'm happy I'm
Thank you
excited
so
to
much for
watch this
having
back.
me.
Guys, Stefano's the real deal. If you're still watching this, you're a real one.
Yeah. Thank you
Thanks,
so
bro.
much, guys.
Thank you, bro.
I admire what you guys are doing here.